They don't know me, son.
Get it. 18.
They don't know me, son.
If your goal is to put on muscle while in the gym, training like David Goggins is not what you want to do. In this video, I'm going to be explaining how you want to train smarter and not harder. There's a lot of variables that go into working out, and it actually might be new to you that doing less is more. I would stop doing intensifiers in the gym if your goal is for muscle growth. Intensifiers such as drop sets, doing cluster sets, supersets, rest pause. The reason you want to stop doing these things, what benefit do these intensifiers really give you? If your main goal is mechanical tension and progressive overload in the gym, what does an intensifier actually benefit to you when it comes to trying to achieve these goals? Doing a drop set isn't going to help you progressive overload. How are you supposed to progressive overload a drop set? What is the point of going to true failure if you just want to progress to the next session? It's going to be harder for you to recover and progress to the next session. It might be smarter to actually leave one rep in reserve when you're training for hypertrophy, because it makes it easier for your body to recover, easy for you to continuously repeat doing the same exercise and the same reps in reserve. Instead of doing drop sets, you're just fatiguing yourself so much that it's affecting your ability for next session to go in and progress on the weight. If you stick to leaving one rep in reserve, you can leave 0 reps in reserve but just do a straight set. You will be able to recover a lot better and able to progress and put on more weight next session. That goes into my next topic. You shouldn't be trying to progress more than 5 pounds in a session. Anytime you progress more than 5 pounds in a session, let's say you're doing squat and you put 10 pounds extra and you progress somehow, you shouldn't do that. Just take your small wins each session by session, put on max 5 pounds to progress each session, because every time that you try progressing more than 5 pounds in a session, and let's say you do, I promise you your next session is not going to be good. You're probably not going to progress the next session, and if you do, wait until the session after that. It's going to build up at some point. It's going to hit you like a truck at some point. Just take your small wins by progressing 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds every single session or a rep. Do not try to progress more. Even if you have more, just take the small progression and know that later on that you're going to hit that progress. And wait, a lot of people try to rush muscle gain and try to rush strength gains. Take your time. You can only build so much muscle at once. You can only get so strong. So please take your time, because progressing too much leads to fatigue. I don't want to sound dramatic, but the more fatigue you have, the more likely you're going to get injured. I'm not saying you're going to get injured just from progressing too much, but you're increasing your risk from doing that. Just take your small strength gains over time and you won't get a crazy amount of fatigue that's going to actually affect you and set you back. What I'm really trying to say is by training smarter and not harder, you're going to not have as many setbacks. Another thing is when you go to the gym and let's say you want to do 315 squat, you put 315 on and you're like, holy crap, like there's no way I'm doing this. Leave the gym, like literally leave the gym. You don't need to be a superhero and start going like, you know, into your inner demons to rep out your 315 squat when you should be doing it normally without having to go crazy far into your childhood trauma to get this lift. Just leave the gym. If you're going to severely undershoot your lifts, leave the gym. Just let yourself recover. Don't do anything. Don't even do sauna, ice bath, none of that crap. A lot of people try to overcomplicate recovery, thinking that you have to do external things to recover. The best things for recovery is literally just doing nothing. Like doing nothing. Just sleep for 10 hours. Don't go to the gym. Go eat your meals. Go do absolutely nothing. Go sleep 10 hours the next night. And I promise you, you'll be recovered just fine. This also goes for bulking and cutting. A lot of people think that you can just bulk and then you get all this muscle and like you're gonna be super sick and awesome and jacked. In 3 months of bulking, you might put on like 2% more muscle than you did if you were main gaining properly. If you just stay at a healthy body fat percentage and main gain, you can year round put on muscle instead of bulking and cutting super aggressively, trying to, you know, get your maximum gains in. You can only gain so much muscle in a given year. So let your body just be at a healthy body fat range and stay there, main gain, and you can be putting on muscle the whole entire year instead of aggressively rushing your muscle gain on your bulk. And then what happens when you cut? You're gonna lose your muscle. You don't want to do that. You can just main gain, stay at 15% year round. If you want to cut for, let's say, the summer or for the show, you can cut out of a main gain. You could be, and it'll be so easy to cut from there if you really want to be that lean. If you're pushing yourself properly, eating your meals and getting all your variables in, you will grow muscle while main gaining. Just give it a shot. Let the gains be a marathon. You're not trying to sprint to becoming C-Bum. Chris Bumstead did not become himself overnight. You need to realize that you can only do so much in a given day by actually trying to force your gains more and actually trying to like increase what you do. Let's say doing a bunch of reps and doing drop sets and doing a bunch of sets and grunting and ego lifting, launching your whole body on a curl because you need to get these big biceps. You're actually not helping yourself. The less is more when it comes to bodybuilding, when it comes to hypertrophy and muscle growth. Simplify your training. Find a way to repeat what you're doing efficiently. Don't push yourself past all the way to failure. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do all this. You're not a superhero. What are you training for? You're just training to build muscle. You're not training to be the next David Goggins or something. If you're really trying to put on muscle, you really don't need to do this to yourself. So some people like doing cardio every day, which I recommend. You really should be doing your cardio every day. But don't go, if you're trying to build muscle, don't go start doing sprints and runs and going for long distance runs. Why would you do that if you're trying to build muscle? Doing these long-term runs is just fatiguing you and subtracting from your lifts later. You might be able to get away with it progressing, but try doing it long-term. You're not going to be able to. If you're going to do cardio, just do short-term, do 30 minutes on the treadmill, incline walk, very low intensity. You want to stay low intensity cardio. Do you guys see what I'm trying to get at? You don't need to be super intense to gain muscle. All you have to do is just pick what your goal is. Your goal is to build muscle. What do you need to do? You need to progressive overload. You need to not do intensifiers and achieve mechanical tension, not micro tears or time under tension. Notice how I say that. It was disproven that micro tears and time under tension are not main drivers for hypertrophy. Main drivers are progressive overload and mechanical tension. Identify what your goals are and think critically of how you're going to reach these goals. If you enjoy, I'm an aspiring natural bodybuilder. I'm here to help and I'm here to stay. So please subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time.